Hello again YouTube, and welcome back to Just Get a Tesla. And on this video we're going on holiday for a week. So this is the key question: if you're going to leave your Tesla parked up, to Sentry or not to Sentry. This video is sponsored by Millibricks, which is the online home for Lego compatible military brick toys like this fantastic Memphis Belle Flying Fortress. You know you want one for Christmas. Get 10% off with the code GET when you shop at Millibricks. So this morning I am at the beautiful, scenic Birch Services on the M62 before we head off to Manchester Airport. And this one is basically answering a question that comes up so often on Facebook forums and on the Owners Club and various other things. How much power does Sentry use if you leave the car parked up? So let's talk about what Sentry is. So your car, if you've got a Tesla, is surrounded by cameras. There is a camera right here under the tailgate. You have got cameras on all of the pillars. So there is a forward facing camera there. There's a rearward facing camera there. The same on the other side, obviously. And then in the pod up here, you have got 3 cameras of different distances. And Sentry basically has those cameras on and sensing for things that are getting close to your car. So if somebody comes up to the car and starts messing with your mirrors or fiddling with the doors or something, Sentry will switch itself on and then will record it. So obviously that is something which is going to burn a bit of power. And there are some interesting stories from people on Facebook where they've had their car sat there for a little while and they've come back off holiday and they have found that the car has basically eaten all of the power that was in the batteries. So let's understand exactly what that is and why it might be happening. I've talked about the cameras. Basically, if you've got it set up so that Sentry is on and it's set for sensitivity, then it's going to burn more power. Let's go and have a look at that. So as usual with Tesla, everything is on the screen. So you go into the menu and then you look down here and you have got this menu called Safety. Now, if you have seen my Just Get a Polestar video, I said that I thought that the visual pictures on their menu was something that Tesla should emulate, and I do think that that is the case. Anyway, if you go into Safety, then you get Sentry mode, and Sentry mode is relatively straightforward in this car. You've got on and you've got off, but I'm going to put a screenshot of this up so that you can basically read it. But as it says, if it detects a threat, somebody, as I said, fiddling with your mirrors or with door handles or something, then basically it will record it and it will also put a message on the screen saying that Sentry is active. And if something serious happens, and as it says, a window break or the vehicle being tipped or something, then your app will get a warning saying that that is happening. But it does note additional power is consumed while Sentry mode is active. And this is the point. It does burn power. So if you look up here, you can exclude different locations, so home, work, or favorite locations. So you don't have to have it on in places where there isn't going to be a threat. You can change the length of the clip. So I've got it set to 1 minute, but you could put to 2 or whatever else that you wanted. And because my car is a relatively early Model Y, I have got sensors, ultrasonic sensors. Almost all of the vehicles out there now do not, but in my case I do, so I am able to select, do I want to have the cameras on or off? Most cars won't have this choice because all they have is cameras. What I do know is that if I have camera-based detection switched on, it will burn more power because the cameras are out there looking for things. So the setup on this one is relatively straightforward, which is, do you want to have it on? And do you want to exclude any locations that you trust? But if you looked carefully on the screen, you also saw that it said that any major incident would put an alert up to your phone app. And that is another way that the car can burn power unexpectedly whilst you're away. And that is if you're fiddling with the app. So if you go onto the Tesla app, it will wake the car up. Sometimes when you go onto the app, it tells you how long the car has been asleep for. And you really want the thing to be asleep while you're not using it. Sorry, I'm just looking at the huge amount of steam that is suddenly being released from my car. And no, it isn't on fire. It is a cold morning and the battery charging is heating, and all it's doing there is venting a little bit of it out. This comes up quite a few times in the winter where people say, my car is smoking, what's going on? It's fine, it's thermal management on the battery pack. Anyway, where were we? The app will wake the car up. So if you don't want to wake the car up, don't use the app, switch it off on your phone. So here's what I'm going to do. I am not going to use Sentry while I'm away, because I am parked up at an airport car park with 409 security cameras. Maybe that's a bit of an understatement, but a lot of security cameras. So I'm not worried about security when I'm parked up. So I'm going to have Sentry switched off. And when it's switched off, that means the car isn't going to burn power. So the energy that we're putting in now will be there for when I get back, so that I can drive home faster. On the trip down here from Scotland yesterday with the family in the car, we had range anxiety. And I do mean really serious range anxiety. Not that the car was about to run out of power, you understand. No. Range anxiety in terms of, am I going to be able to get back to the car fast enough to unplug it before it stops charging and I start getting fined for overstay? Because what happened was this: we did our usual meal stop at Edinburgh. So the Tesla Centre at Edinburgh has got a McDonald's 5 minutes up the road. So drop the family, plug the car in, quick trot back down the road. You've seen this on various videos that I've done. And Mackie D's was absolutely rammed. And it took ages for the food to come out. So I'm there thinking, okay, the car is charging quicker than we're going to be ready. So instead of 80% charge, I increased it to 90% charge. And then as things dragged on, I then increased it further. So in the end, I had the app cranked up all the way to 96%. I tend not to go to 100, right? 96% charge. And I then had to hustle it back to the car to unplug it, sat on 95% thinking, oh God, it's going to switch off. I mean, I don't know quite what the overstay period is, but either way, I didn't want to find out. But this is something that happens to me on a semi-regular basis when I'm doing trips, which is that the car is ready to go before I am, especially when it's a family trip. And by the way, they're back at the hotel. I've just come out because I needed to do some filming because I wasn't doing it yesterday. But they are a bit slower than I am, and that's absolutely fine. But I'm then thinking I need to get back to the car pretty sharpish. So whenever people talk about range anxiety, and I do still get keyboard warrior comments talking about, you know, oh, my diesel can do 600 miles and I only need to fill the thing up once every 2 weeks or something. Guys, if you need to fill your car up once every 2 weeks, your use is perfect for an EV. But anyway, I do love the keyboard warrior types who come on and put all of the comments on, and that's absolutely great. But at no point in 2 years of driving this car, and I've done nearly 42,000 miles, at no point have I ever nearly run out. Ever. And I do long trips. As I say, I'm nearly 400 miles into this trip. And then when we get back off holiday, we're going to do the same trip back again. And what's more, having been home for 3 days, I then get to drive back down to Manchester to do another 800 and something mile round trip, and that won't be a problem either. So it's just about state of mind, I think, sometimes. And Sentry on holiday, which is what this video is supposed to be about, I think really is just one of those anxiety things where people don't quite understand how the car works and how it sets up. So that's what this video is about. Anyway, that's the preamble bit. I'll jump now to leaving the car at the airport, showing that Sentry is switched off and how much power is in the battery, and then we'll see what it's like at the other end. We are now at the airport. So just to show you, Sentry mode is set to off. We have got 78% in the battery because I very nicely judged how much I was going to burn to get here. So I'm right at the top of the leave the car charged up thing. Look at that, 232 watt hours per mile. Oop, hello, why is it jump like that? 232 watt hours per mile on the run from the supercharger, because traffic was a little bit gnarly, and that means that when you're going fairly slowly, you don't burn power. Anyway, 78%, 1 week, see you at the other end. I can hardly do a holiday video without having a bit of drop in from holiday. So this is Alcampea in Spain, where we have been for almost a week. We're actually going home tomorrow, and all I have done with the car is I did have a very brief check on Wednesday because I needed to check on my account, and it said that the car had been asleep for days, which is good, that's what we want, and that it hadn't actually burned any power at all. Well, I'll find out tomorrow when I get back to the car how well it's done, but again, as a reminder, this is with Sentry off, completely off, and the car letting itself sleep. While it does that, it shouldn't be burning power. Let's find out. Back in Manchester, and it's not quite as warm as Spain, but it's pretty decent for mid-October. No, late October. So, on the way back to the car, the question is, how much charge have we lost in the week that it's been parked up? I've seen all these horror stories about vampire drains from Teslas parked up, and people coming back and find that their car has either got hardly anything left in the battery or has gone completely flat. I don't think we're going to have that problem, but let's see. It's a busy old car park. When we pulled up here, there was nobody at this end at all, and now I've got a car behind and a big van. But never mind that. The question is, how much power is in the battery? And today's winning number is 76%. So we have lost only 2% in the week that we've been away. So if you want to get it so that you don't burn loads of energy, go into safety and just turn this off. And so there it is, guys. You don't need to worry about leaving your car for a period of time. Just switch it off. It's that simple. And on that easy note, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Share the video if people are telling you that your car is going to either go flat or set on fire while you're away. And while they're doing that, I'll see you back here very soon on Just Get a Tesla.